Disclaimer: this series revolves around looking at media and figuring out if they are suitable for children. Regardless of the outcome, it has nothing to do with my opinion on the thing in question. This is less of a review and more like an investigation. Parents and guardians, you've been warned. And please take my information to heart before showing your children the content. Thank you, and enjoy this video. How many of you are familiar with Zack Snyder? The guy was involved in many projects, especially ones based on DC Comics properties. There are a few animated movies he made, and one of them would be Legends of the Guardians: The Owls of Gahoole. It got mixed reviews, and I watched it myself for the children's safety. It's based on a novel series and created by the same studio that gave us Happy Feet. No matter what the origins are, I must do a deep dive in the film and arbitrate whether or not youth can view it. Put on your helmet and sharpen your talons, for we are seeking glory. Hey, I'm Owen, the fiction fanboy, and welcome to another installment of Is This for Kids? Legends of the Guardians: The Owls of Gahoole. After soaring through the opening logos and title, Soren grabs a mouse for food, and upon arrival, he and sister Eglantine pretend they're playing the Guardians of Gahoole tale, with the youngling wanting to switch roles with the grown-up. Clud, their brother, doesn't believe in such myths. It's no fairy tale though, it's their history. Eglantine wants to hear about Metalbeak, and Soren comes pretty close to giving her daymares, regardless of how much she loves a particular part of the story. Noctis, the dad, prepares the boys for a flying lesson, and informs Soren how not dangerous it'll be, despite how good they both flew, and that they wouldn't join the father for hunting yet. Following the session is seen how Mrs. P, the nursing snake, helped the lassie cough up her first pellet. Tension between the boys came, and they both ended up on the surface, having close contact with a Tasmanian devil, and getting kidnapped by a pair of owls. The captors wouldn't let the captives speak, and we meet Gylfi, a younger owl, also caught by a fierce figure. All of them have been taken to an orphanage, where they're greeted by Queen Nira. There, she states some owls will become pickers, and others shall be soldiers. Gylfi begs to be freed, and Soren's bravery gets both of them assigned as pickers. Clud's refusal to join his brother makes him a soldier, and now the two who were seen as weak were directed to stare at the moon so they'll end up moon-blinked, basically brainwashed. Before the picking begins, Nira congratulates Clud for his decision, and the work has started, with this being hard for the two unhypnotized birds. Following the event of glimpsing Metalbeak and his spy, Alamir, Grimble gets them out of work and is willing to make them fly so they can find the Guardians from the childhood stories, seeing how the guy hates the pure ones, for there was a tragic backstory. Going back to the baddies, Clud performed excellently, and when Nira asked about his brother, he told her Soren's lame. As the two do-gooders got better at flying, Grimble hopes to release his family. Sadly, Nira discovered the treachery, and instead of leaving with his brother, Clud declared he had a new home with the pure ones. As Soren and Gylfi fly, they see Grimble and Nira fighting, with the latter killing the former. While those who needed to inform the Guardians got a break from the dark atmosphere, Nira believed Clud really should be a soldier, and she wonders if he can offer anything to the Force. He responds by saying he has a sister with spirit, and she wants her. Returning to the good guys, Soren had caught a moth, yet new Owl Digger says it was already caught, leading to a little argument, and a subject change on needing a place to hide and rest. Heading into their burrow, Twilight was going to have Mrs. P for dinner, but Soren prevented such a feast from occurring. Everyone soon came in agreement to find the Guardians, and the enemies had appeared before their master, Metalbeak, who stated Clud should be afraid of him, and as Clud's willing to please MB, Eglantine was especially scared. More flying and chatting occurred for the heroes, and upon reaching the shrine, an echidna who foretold what would happen showed himself. He allowed them all to get to the island the Guardians are by providing specific directions, though they had a tough time following that as they encountered a mist in their journey. Fortunately, Queen Baron arrived and aided those who were troubled, and sure enough, they made it to their destination. The council have been told of the sinister plan, and the owls were skeptical on whether what's been said was true or not. It seemed the adventure wasn't for nothing, as birds had been sent to investigate the bad guy's lair. The mission was halfway accomplished, and training was necessary for those who told the news. Several classes, so little time. Soren gets a little impression of Audlissa, and during a caterpillar banquet, music felt needed, so we hear a portion of Owl Cities to the Sky. A montage happens during the song, and among the ending of the fun, MB had his speech, and Eglantine was tired of being around the scary stuff, so Clud said she could go home soon, but had her get moon-blinked. Soren had been reading his favorite story, and Islurb dropped by. Although the tale was heroic, he didn't know how to describe the battle, so Islurb thought of HE double hockey stick as the word suggestion. Following that, he wanted to teach Soren how to seriously fly. In a storm. The Guardians were at the place they needed to be, and just when they thought they were saving young owls, it appeared they weren't prepared for what was in store. Soren recovered, and although Islurb tested the lad's gizzard, he revealed himself as the author of the big story. Unfortunately, he no longer wanted to be called Lies. Subsequent to this is owls needing medical care, and Soren had to see Eglantine moon-blinked. The nurses vowed to try their best on healing the chick. Alamir was telling of his undertaking, and Soren had two choices: head to fight or support his sister. Soren's worrisome words somehow got Eglantine back, who wasn't hesitant in telling that Clud sided with the Pure Ones, and she was just bait, used as a trap for the Guardians. The Wicked Wieners were winning, and it was time for Soren to step up and help put an end to the madness. Aside from the bad owls, bats were also needing to be dealt with. Progress was being made, and Soren approached the Fiery Field to disable the trap. This gave the Guardians their chance to go straight for Metalbeak, and as he doesn't trust Alamir, the traitor dies as there's only room for one king. A brotherly battle occurred, and once persuasion wasn't working, the duel was on, the new soldier was presumably dead, and Soren went to take on the dastardly leader. The good guys almost tasted defeat, but once Soren had an opportunity, he faced MB, and it was rough, with Soren concluding with giving the foe a burning stick. Nira had the Pure Ones retreat. Soren tells of his experience, became a guardian, some shadowy figure has grabbed a helmet that fell. The young owlets wanted more stories, and it all wraps up with more flying, as there may be a storm. And with that done, it's time to discuss the outcome. Alright, so, what did I get? The scene in the first few minutes is the most lighthearted section of the movie, gorgeous animation, To the Sky is uplifting, and a few jokes are better than none. Nevertheless, war is the theme. There will be a lot of fear. Multiple cons rolled into one there. A certain word wasn't necessary, and even though the characters are owls, the combats are brutal. So, is Legends of the Guardians the Owls of Gahoole for kids? My observation is maybe. By no means are anyone who's 11 or below to watch this flick alone. Adults should totally be present, but teens can be chill with it. Really darn near with needing a PG-13 rating, though perhaps I'm not cautious enough. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this installment of Is This for Kids? Want the fiction to spread? Then please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Don't forget to also comment below and follow me on Instagram for teasers and thumbnail previews of future YouTube videos. Thanks for watching, look forward to seeing you again, and have a good night-o!